little as we go down. This year, the St. Matthew Anglican Church opened its doors in 1800. The grave sites go back all the way back then. Our first black governor general, Samuel B. Butler, was also there. These are what they call royal containers. They come in three colors. That's bright orange, yellow, and a darker red. They come about just about every summer. Now the houses you see along here, as you can see, one of the buildings belong to the Haitian embassy. These two belong to two brothers, the Fernando brothers. But all the houses in this area were put on rent. All right. This was what was considered the white folks area. Before 1966, black folks weren't allowed in these areas. All these happened. Some had shops at the very bottom. This year being Dr. Ted Allen's Medical Center was also once a private home. All of these along here. All right. You have the Doctor's Hospital open its doors in the early 1960s. It was opened by Dr. Ranson, who unfortunately lost his life in 1986 during an attempted robbery at the very entrance of the hospital. All right. Those very two culprits that caused him his death, they're still in prison up to this very day from 1986. Okay. You see the horse in Surrey, we still have that going on from the and everything was basically through the corner. All of this was added on in 2019. As a matter of fact, if you drive up here to the left and go straight up, you'll come up to the Queen's Staircase, which will take you all the way up to Fort Finn Castle, which was built in 1793, just 5 years after Fort Charlotte. If you look carefully, you see the water tower, which happens to stand some 209 feet above the sea level because it is on a hill. It was also used as the water reservoir for the entire area. All of this was once a community, all right, before it became the downtown area. Here you have the newly built, newly constructed United States Embassy. It has a two-story floor that goes underground, considered the bunker. The Zion Baptist Church opened its doors in 1835, originated in the city of London. The bishop there is Bishop T.G. Morrison, who happens to be a very powerful bishop. Even though he's young, trust me, he's a powerful bishop. Here, the Public Library and National Museum opened its doors in 1873. That building as a jailhouse. Like I say, this was a community. The property here to our left was the property of the Queen Victoria Hotel, which opened its doors during the early 1700s. All the Sir Woodes Rogers, even George Washington, who was your first president of the United States, he came here during the Civil War that y'all had during those 1700s. I don't remember the exact date. Now along here, you have the Bahamas General Register. Here, you get birth certificates, death certificates, marriages, divorce. All of that is handled right here. All these buildings, once private homes, as you can see, some of them still have the shutters and so forth. Straight across here is the Central Bank of the Bahamas, opened its doors in 1974. All right, we had something else established. I think this year they celebrated 50 years. But before that, we had another building where the treasury was located. That was demolished some 4 years ago. But our first Bahamian currency was printed there. Right here is the Presbyterian Church. They opened their doors in 1810. It is said that they're somewhat similar to the denomination of the Mormon Church. That's dangerous. Straight across on the left pink and white wall is the governor's mansion. The area itself is known as Mount Fitzwilliam. Okay, our Governor General that is serving time for these next 4 years is a female. Her name is Cynthia Mother Pratt. We call her Mother Pratt, but her name is Cynthia Pratt. She would be the third female Governor General, I think, here in the Bahamas. The pedestal there is where the statue of Columbus once stood. All right, as you can see, 1492. But some young fella took it upon himself to go at the statue after realizing Christopher Columbus really didn't discover the Bahamas. When he came here, he met a whole civilization of Arawak Indians. Now the Indians, they were all killed out from Christopher Columbus' crew, because after he left to go back to see Queen Isabella, the fellas that he left in charge were nothing but criminals. All they did was rape, put most of the workers to do slavery work and so forth. The Great Cliff Restaurant is the only 5-star restaurant in the entire Caribbean. It also has a wine cellar that goes back during the 16th century. All right, that's how long the building was standing. It is said that they have a bottle of wine and thing that goes back during the 1500s. Cost almost about $1 million just to pop that bottle. Wow. The British Colonial Hotel here to our right opened its doors in 1900. The statue you see here of Sir Woodes Rogers, he became Governor General in the early 1700s. I think it was 1718. He was Governor General here in the Bahamas. But he was also responsible for the capturing of pirates here in the Caribbean. It is said that he was also the pirate or the private buccaneer that captured Edward Teach. Anyone have any idea who Edward Teach was? No. Edward Teach was that ferocious pirate known as Blackbeard. All right. This site was also the site of the first fort. It was known as Fort Nassau. It was built in 1687. Okay. Now all of that was right here on this fort. It is said that the Chinese bought out the hotel now. It's all a part of the point. They even bought out the United States Embassy, the old one. That's why they built the new one on Shirley Street. Now the point itself, all of this construction started in 2019. All right, it was held up for 2 years during the pandemic from 2020 to 2022. Okay, but this year being a 6th-floor parking garage area, you have that one particular harbor and then the Margaritaville Beach Resort. All of this fairly new. Now the beach coming up to our right, this area is known as Jungle Beach. It is mainly occupied by those that comes from off the cruise ship. Alright, most people come here to Jungle Beach. You'll also find the Tiki Bikini Hut Bar. It is said here you'll find the local bear's treat for $10. It is said that you can drink all you want until your eyes go cross or your legs wobble. You don't have to worry about falling down because you get to land on sand on this beach. Alright? So we allow you to party all you want. Then you have the police station right across the street. They also have a 24-hour security that patrols the beach, so nobody ever gets to bother you on this beach. No straw vendor, no one can approach you to buy anything or anything. They just allow you to relax on this beach. Now, the Western Esplanade, all of this along here, is also publicly for both locals and tourists alike to enjoy. Alright? This is just one of those local beaches off the West. I always consider the Redlands Bay Beach right behind the hotel where you're going at. Alright? Coming up to our left is Clifford Park. It's right behind the yellow building, the yellow and white building right here. This is where we celebrated our first independence on July 10 in 1973. Just last year we celebrated 50 years, which was a spectacular event. this year it was 51 years of anniversary. All right, wasn't too spectacular. Some people didn't even bother to attend. All right, but above that is Fort Charlotte, the fort I spoke to you earlier about, built in 1788 by Lord Dunmore, the same architect that built Fort Finn Castle. This one was built in honor of King George III, who in turn named the fort after his wife, Sahara Charlotte. To our right here, you have the fish fry. Over 20 vendors you can choose from. That's why I recommend the Twin Brothers, which is down there, the yellow building, and Goldie's right here. This pink and white building right around there. The environment is so much better, but everybody out here can cook. I tell you, they're all Bahamians, and trust me, we do know how to season food. Trust me, I'm telling you. This abandoned building, or let's say the Waters building, was once owned by Henry Howard Nelson. He was a member of Parliament, but he was discarded out of Parliament after they found out he was seeing one of the black local ladies here on the island.